Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I'm here at SMT Nuremberg on the Scoop Studio, and I'm joined by Michael Ford from Aegis. Michael, what I wanted to talk about a little bit is from a kind of an EMS and an OEM perspective. We talk a lot about the how that is around how we're going to apply Smart Factory, how we're going to apply Industry 4.0. I think we don't talk enough about the why. And for me, the why is where's the value? Where's the real evidence of return on investment, of value add, either for the consumer or for the EMS company or the manufacturer? Do you see that demand from your customers? Are they asking for definable KPIs, definable ROI?
Yes, they are. But it's a difficult kind of area in that people still need to get their head around what kind of things should they be looking for. It's almost like a lot of the industry is stuck in a loop talking about technologies and how wonderful it is to do this and that and the other. But as you said, why? So we are discovering examples, and there are literally hundreds of ideas out there of what people are doing to use this kind of information. Start with quality, for example. The closed loop systems that we've seen implemented in production lines, it makes an order of magnitude difference in the quality towards zero defects. We had one company tell us they had achieved 4 ppm reject rate when they turned on their closed loop systems on the line. For others, it's simply a matter of visibility. I want to see where my products are. I want to know in advance when I need materials, or should I have a late delivery to a customer. So all of these things, by having the visibility, brings a lot of opportunity. But unfortunately, that's just the first step, because that visibility goes to a human. And for many years, we've been talking about making better and better reports, basically information that tells us what we already lost, which is pointless, really. You know, like, you've lost it, move on, you know? We want to use information now in a different way, so that we can start to prevent issues from happening, so that decisions can be made in very, very rapid time to make a factory adjustment so that it's flexible without losing productivity. And so we're beginning to see the data work for the manufacturing now.
Yeah, and it's turning that data into information, and then as a result into intelligence, and that means context and all kinds of other things. Do you think there are kind of, if you were looking at an EMS company and suggesting where they might start, do you think there are kind of easy opportunities where they can get that initial project done and that initial value attained?
Yes, I do. You know, over the last few years, we saw EMS companies as being the ones who headed up the move toward lower cost manufacturing. I think there is a responsibility now for EMS companies to do the reverse. Now that we have factories and lines which can be far more flexible, can make far more range of products in smaller quantities efficiently, that can be done near to the customer. Now that customer could be in China, they could be elsewhere in Asia, but they're also in Europe and the US. So there are models now that with the advanced automation that we've got and the way in which we're using information to create value, to create these Industry 4.0 flexible, efficient factories, it kind of brings the opportunity to reinvent local manufacturing. It's not going to be like it was before, and even raw materials with additive manufacturing is going to be a key part of it. But it puts that idea into people's heads as to, you know, the flow of manufacturing towards lower cost isn't necessarily always the right answer. But EMS companies are in the perfect position, because an OEM can't do it, because they can only make one series of their own products, whereas an EMS, they can start looking around at a very wide selection of products and can aggregate that into a local area. It's interesting. It's against the curve, but it's interesting.
No, it is. It's really interesting, and I've talked to contract manufacturers about this topic. I think some of the trends you hit on there are really important. Additive manufacturing is one of them, which gives us opportunities in other areas. Regionalization, what some people are calling distributed manufacturing, so the idea of much smaller facilities closer. And I guess connectivity and data is the key to make all that work together.
It is. Being able to exchange that information to make value from it is key. But we're also living in an age now where we're having 20% tariffs going up between products flowing from different countries. It's not going to get better in the short term. It's probably going to get worse. And so now is really the time to think, how do I make an operation that works in this local environment? Yeah. So how do I take the information and technology that I've now got, and how do I create best practices to make that into a new kind of manufacturing that's suitable for this age?
And digital should give us a more dynamic, more agile manufacturing ecosystem that means we can shift production when there is a sudden tariff change or a risk in the supply chain. Michael, thanks for that insight. Some interesting topics going forward. We'll chat again soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.